Should we talk about The Boys?
Let's talk about The Boys season 4.
What's the story, Morning Glory?
Well, The Boys,
Yeah.
they're getting amongst it.
What are they up to?
Well,
Are they being gross again?
everybody's being a bit gross, quite frankly.
Again?
And they will remain gross, I think. Homelander's he's causing a bit of trouble, isn't he? Bit of strife.
Yeah.
Bit of bubble and what do they say?
Bubble and trouble?
No.
Toil and trouble?
No. What do they
Bubble
say?
and squeak?
Yeah, no. They say, oh, it's trouble and strife. The wife.
Oh,
That's what I'm
okay,
thinking
yeah.
of.
All
That's what
right,
I'm thinking of. Okay, but the boys.
Yeah.
The boys are going to stop Homelander. They're
I
going to
agree.
stop him, you know?
Yeah.
Yeah.
They've been trying to do that for a while now.
They sure
But
have.
they mean it this time.
They really do.
Because he
mean it
kept
this time.
getting away with it.
Yeah, that's right.
And now he's older a bit.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And he's losing his marbles.
Yeah, he is. A little bit more so than... I think
But
that
he's got a plan with Sage to get
the smartest person on earth.
Get Supes in the White House.
Yep.
And the boys got to stop him.
That's right. Spoilers?
Yeah. Time for spoilers.
Spoilers, yeah.
Yeah.
I think it is diminishing returns this season.
Well, I mean, it's good then that they're heading towards.
I think that's great. I think it's really good that there's one season left. I think it does feel, even though it does take it some interesting places, I don't think this season was as strong as the other seasons.
Sure.
Do you disagree with that?
I mean, I think it's.
I did not enjoy it.
Yeah, same. Yeah, I thought it was very enjoyable. I think everybody got some nice character moments in this. We got some, if you're in it for the gross outs and the
you're gonna get 'em.
people being torn limb from limb, you're going to get a few of those.
Absolutely.
Let's see. Gosh,
You're really thinking about it.
yeah, I'm really thinking about it. But maybe you're right. Maybe there isn't as many highlights. And again, like I said, when the first few episodes came out, this season seems to be quite on the nose.
Yeah.
Some of the
Do you think that is though a result of not just kind of copying things that are happening in the real world,
Yeah.
but the universe of The Boys has also been escalating? Like it has been building to this
yeah, maybe okay.
ultimate, violent conclusion and
Yeah, sure.
insurrections and erections and so on.
Sure, yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah. But do you think there is though? I mean, Eric Kripke keeps coming out and saying Homelander is Trump. It's Trump.
Oh yeah, right. Yes. Uh-huh.
I mean, he did also say that like several years ago.
Yeah. But then in the show we've got, of course, Victoria Newman, who's meant to be an AOC type character.
Yeah.
But AOC is also in this universe.
Yeah, that's
you know
right.
What I mean?
That's right. Is that confusing to you?
Yeah, a little bit. Hang on, let's bring up the episode list, and we can talk about episodes individually. I mean, there was, of course, an episode where we see Tech Knight, who's sort of meant to be in the comic. He's more of an Iron Man style character, but in this, he's sort of a Batman kind of generic.
Doesn't really have a superhero persona as much. He's mostly not doing that.
No, and he's mostly a sex criminal.
Yeah, it seems that way. Yeah. And he's over from Gen V.
Oh yes, of course. Yeah, that's right. Yeah.
Yeah. What do you mean? Like, what in relation to him? What do you?
I don't know. It's just that's a character that people have sort of been clamoring for. I think.
Okay. Yeah.
So
right.
we finally got that, but now he's out of the picture because he dead.
He died.
Yeah.
Butcher's sick as well. Big point of this is he took too much superhero juice.
Yeah. Mm-hmm.
Now he got really sick, but then he's not sick.
Yeah.
At the end, he's not sick.
Well, I was sort of under the impression that in the Boys universe, maybe they tried to change this without telling anybody, but in the Boys universe, the way you become a soup is you get exposed to compound V when you're a kid, or maybe when your mother is pregnant, and that's how. But and subsequently they made temporary V where you can temporarily get a superpowers. But now you can just inject yourself with V and you get superpowers
forever, probably.
Seems that way, right?
Yeah.
Has that always been the case?
I can't remember.
I think that's new.
Yeah, maybe it is. I mean, there's always been that compound, but I don't know. Have we ever seen anybody just directing that, like putting it directly into themselves?
Yeah, but now Victoria Newman did it with her daughter.
Yeah. What's her name? Who runs Ashley did it as well at the end.
Yeah, that's right.
But we don't know the result of that as of yet. Yeah.
Butcher has obviously taken it and gotten weird tentacle powers.
Yes. Do you think that cured him of dying?
Maybe
because he looked better at the end.
He did look better at the end,
because he's got one of the plot twists, which I'm sure everybody saw coming.
Yes.
Was Jeffrey Dean Morgan plays a guy who's like, "You work for me now, and we're going to take down the soups or whatever."
Yeah,
but it's really in his mind. Is that the Cthulhu kind of thing that lives within him?
Yeah, that's a great question.
That he let kind of take over.
Yeah, maybe. Is it a separate intelligence somehow? Great question.
Yeah.
Huey and his
it'll get ripped out of him at some point. Yeah.
Huey and his mother, of course, gave Simon Pegg. In a wildly irresponsible move.
Yes.
There's a lot of. It's interesting as well. It's sort of that thing of like, well, if the Supes do something, they got to pay for it.
Yeah.
But in this instance, they gave his father with dementia V, and then he became an incredibly unstable man going on a rampage in a hospital.
Yes.
They should all be in prison.
Absolutely,
I think.
they should.
You know what? So it's fine if Huey does it.
He killed a lot of normal people.
He killed a lot of normal people. And I think one of them's in the hospital bed talking to a nurse like, hey, baby, want to go on a date? And then he gets torn to shreds.
Runs through it.
And we're supposed to be like, well, I guess he's a bit forward, so I suppose he does deserve to be torn to pieces. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It's like we've reached that point of the narrative, and like maybe it is time to wrap this up where a lot of the boys have done stuff that is on par or worse than all the superheroes. So maybe, when are they going to face some consequences?
And a lot of those things are, a lot of the times they're doing it, it's for selfish and irresponsible reasons. It's not like there's a higher calling for this, or it's just like, no, I want to do this. Let's do it. Let's see what happens.
Yeah, Huey and his mother should have handed themselves into the police.
Completely agree.
Yeah.
Starlight loses her powers in this for a time
because she gets the Spider-Man 2 disease.
It's the Spider-Man 2
she loses
disease.
her confidence.
Loses her confidence. Yeah. That's after she beats up Firecracker, who's a new character who's basically Marjorie Taylor Greene.
Yeah.
With some superpowers, some durability, and
yeah.
I think her relationship with Homelander is interesting. Like she's obviously just a very big fan, and he's kind of indifferent to her, and that's obviously with like the breastfeeding thing kicks off and all of that. I mean, the Homelander's complete like disgust with everybody around him is just I just find endlessly amusing and terrifying. Though I think he has also become less terrifying in previous seasons because he'll be in a room and be like, whatever.
Yeah, I think as well. Some people have suggested. Depending on how charitable you are towards this series, some people have said he's gotten a lot dumber since season 1.
Yeah, maybe. Or more unhinged.
Yeah, well, that's it. Like in the first season, he was investigating stuff on his own, and he seemed to be quite across a lot of stuff, and he was, he seemed to be a bunch of steps ahead of everybody else. Remember when Homelander puts a bomb on one of his CIA corporate contacts, and then Homelander is way ahead of the game and he rushes them all out of the building and blah, blah, blah. Do you remember that?
I don't remember that at
all. Well, anyway.
Yeah, but it did happen.
Yeah, but I mean, again, to be, less critical of it, I guess you could say, well, he is becoming more unhinged.
And he's paranoid. He's got no one to lean on. And,
and he's going grey.
And he's going grey. Can you imagine?
Nope. Can you imagine?
No, Mason, I can't.
Yeah.
It's not. I don't have to imagine. I just live it every goddamn day. But yeah, it's also interesting that they're showing a lot of flaws. Not just like they show that he's out of the suit. He's not like completely ripped.
Right. Okay.
He's aging. He's losing his mind. He's not. I think that's like sort of humanizing him in a way. I find really interesting. And they're just like, he is aging. Like he's a guy. He's not going to live forever. He's not invulnerable.
Let me ask you this question. In terms of stuff being on the nose, how dumb do you think the general public are in the boys' universe? And is it accurate to the real world? Because there's moments in this where, like, there's a moment where Sage throws she's pretending to be one of the Starlighters, and there's two protests happening at the same time, a protest and a counter protest, and she throws a rock or something, and everybody's like, let's kill each other. Yeah. You know what I mean? Does that feel accurate to you?
I think that maybe some of it is slightly exaggerated, but things are pretty tense.
They are tense.
And you can...
Yeah, maybe if we had superheroes, things would be more tense also.
Yeah, but I think people are on edge, and people are tired and confused and like struggling day to day and being lied to constantly and, picking sides when it's mostly just corporations really.
Yeah, that's true.
Which is obviously the big point of this show. But yeah, I think people are stupid enough to believe anything.
Yeah, no,
and you
right.
can get a certain percentage of people to believe literally anything.
That's true.
Yeah. So I think, when we've seen stuff kick off, for the stupidest reasons, and then you can show people the blatant evidence of something not being like they're being told, and it doesn't matter. Like getting somebody like...
Because they want to believe it.
Yeah, and getting someone like un-QAnon, it's basically impossible. You're so far down the rabbit hole.
That's true.
Yeah. So, Yeah. Anyway, Huey, he's treated pretty appallingly. People,
some crook stuff happens to him.
multiple times in this.
Yeah.
But it's weird because it is kind of played for laughs, at least one of the times.
Yeah.
Yeah.
And I guess because, because he masquerades as Web Weaver, who's like a Spider-Man version, and he goes to Tech Knight's sex dungeon, and weird sex stuff happens to him. But most of that I think is meant to be for laughs, because it's like sitting on a cake or getting spanked or whatever, that kind of thing. But you can imagine, it's Crook.
It's Crook.
And then he has sex with a shapeshifter who's taken the place of Starlight, which is Crook.
That's Crook. You shouldn't do that.
But I also like...
I like that shapeshifter, like, tearing skin off, and I like that.
I also think they sort of had to think fast there, because they're like, how would she know anything about being Starlight? She's telepathic,
does memories as well.
Yeah,
absolutely.
But I guess you could think, like, you could really kind of look at any season of this show, and if that was, if an event in the show was relevant to your life, it would make sense you were kind of traumatized by it. Like in the first episode of the series, Huey's girlfriend is turned to paste because A-Train runs through the streets and just explodes her. And like if you watched that and someone you knew had been hit by a car or something, you would feel the same thing. I guess maybe you'd be like, I'm out now, because that's too close to the bone.
I think there would have been multiple people throughout this series just being like, no, I'm out now. Yeah.
A man did expand really big in my dick hole and I exploded. And that's too close.
I'm out.
It's too close to the bone, as it were.
Comique and Frenchie hook up at the end.
They sure do.
Which I thought I would hate, but I was like, that's all right.
Yeah, that's pretty good.
They seem like they like each other. That's cool.
Yeah.
And he's got a subplot of dating a guy whose family he murdered or something.
Whoops.
Yeah, whoops, I guess. I enjoyed A-Train's... he just disappeared, didn't he? Yeah. Like him and Maeve, Maeve the previous season and him this season, he doesn't even show up in the last episode.
Do you think they're just going to return in the final season in some
almost
capacity?
Certainly.
Well, we did get at least a photo with the whole 7 in it, and Maeve was, And I think that's probably, to keep her in the mind of the viewers.
Absolutely,
to bring her back at some point.
The Deep is doing his own little adventures as well with Tilda Swinton Octopus and, and whatever. Yeah, he's fun. He's just a fun character, a fun, dumb character. And the new Black Noir's fun as well.
Who can fly, it turns out.
Oh, yeah, that's right. Yeah.
I like we're all over the place with this
we really are,
conversation, but that's fine. But again, maybe it's just because the narrative isn't as... And it's not as compelling. Again, still enjoyable. I like the fact that the boys keep a minigun in a trunk in their office just in case they need it.
You never know.
And they did.
That's right. So in terms of the ending, it's it's a bit of a downer. Sure. Most of them get captured.
Yeah.
Or some of them get captured at least.
Someone pointed this out on the internet, and I don't know if this is relevant. It's only the boys that get captured.
Right.
Gets captured, Marvin Milk, which turns out to be his real name in the series. I was doing it as a joke. His name actually is Marvin Milk.
Right, that's good.
And Frenchie and Huey get captured.
Yeah.
But it seems like Starlight escapes.
Butcher's out.
They don't seem to be interested in Kimiko.
Why do you think that is?
I don't know. Yeah. I don't know.
And Butcher's gone.
Were they just capturing the regular guys for leverage or something?
I think the idea was to capture Starlight, and she bailed at the very least.
That's true.
But yeah, maybe they're separating Frenchie and Kimiko in different cells and whatever.
Maybe
that's
maybe.
Yeah. I don't know, honestly. I do not know. Yeah. Did you see the posters for the season 5? They're they're hinting towards what's next.
Because Homelander's headed towards the White House.
Yeah, and there's other ones where is the Australian Parliament in there as well? I can't remember.
Might be.
Is he looking at world domination?
Is he looking at Bob Catter?
I hope not.
Is he having a meeting with Bob Catter?
He might be looking at Bob Catter.
What else? I like this sort of standalone episode where they went to the farm and it was
killer animals and stuff.
Killer animals.
Yeah, I enjoyed that.
So Garth Ennis, who created The Boys originally, he wrote a series for DC called Hitman.
Yes.
Not Agent 47 Hitman, but like a DC Universe Hitman.
Yeah.
And there's an issue called Zombie Night at the Gotham Aquarium.
Yes.
Which is sort of very reminiscent of this. I don't know if there was a killer animal issue of The Boys. There probably was.
I didn't finish it, I don't know. You finished it, didn't you?
Yes, but I don't remember any of it. It's Crook. What else?
Well, there's a post-credits, obviously, with Soldier Boy.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Returning.
Yep. Mm-hmm.
Yeah. Apparently also Jared
Padalecki.
Yeah, he's also going to be.
Okay.
Because they're both obviously, they were the Winchester brothers.
That's true.
Along with Jeffrey Dean Morgan, who's in that series.
Yes.
Also, they're going to be in the next series as well.
Mm-hmm.
Do you think Ryan is going to be the one to kill Homelander?
Maybe.
I think it'll probably be Butcher, but it will be with Ryan's assistance.
Yeah.
What do you think?
That sounds fun.
Yeah?
Yeah, sounds fun.
I mean, he also killed that woman.
He did kill that woman. Yeah.
And that other guy that he pushed into the building.
Yeah, he killed that woman, so I think I guess you have to set up a character like that to be okay with killing.
Yeah, okay.
Because at the end, if he just is like, yeah, I'm going to kill my dad.
Yeah.
Here's some laser eyes in your eyes. Then it maybe wouldn't feel as true. But if you go, well, he's killed before.
Yeah,
so
maybe
he'll kill again.
He'll
kill again, and I think that's great.
One thing I think we talked about when we were talking about the first 3 episodes, though, I found it interesting that they were like, yeah, all the saves are fake.
Right, yeah.
Or most of them. You know, they might use Homelander to fly into a war zone for whatever.
Yeah, right.
But it's mostly just all staged and they don't do any real good ever.
Yes.
Which I thought was, you know, interesting.
Yes.
Yeah, and makes sense within this universe.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. I don't know. I think that's pretty much where I'm at, though.
Yeah, I'm looking for. I mean, you know,
I liked it.
Yeah, I liked it too.
Yeah.
Probably not the best season, but you know, it does set things in motion for the final season. We get. I think, as some people have predicted, you know, we get a Butcher who's sort of leaning towards evil, or you know, he's leaning towards a solution that might kill all the soups in the world, and most of them deserve it. Honestly.
Oh, Victoria Newman is torn in half.
She is torn in half. That's true, yes.
That's the thing that happens.
Oh, and her daughter has to go to the group home that she went to.
Oh, that's right. That was her
rotten.
Greatest fear. Well, there you go.
And did we also get some of the people that captured the boys at the end? Were they from Gen V?
Yes.
Yeah, that's what.
Yeah, the two that
Kimiko and Frenchie.
They did a bunch of those murders in Gen V, but they ended up being released and everyone else was framed.
That's what I thought.
But I think we're going to get another season of Gen V before we get
I think
another
so too,
season of this. So that'll fill in some gaps, but probably not that many gaps.
No.
I'd imagine.
Oh, okay.
Yeah. All right. Is that everything?
That's everything.
Check it out.
Check it out.
You probably checked it out already.
You probably checked it out already.
Yeah. All right. Thanks everyone. But we've got another segment actually. What's it called?
Sure we do. You were going to wrap it up.
Thanks everyone for the news for the theme song that Collins puts in.
There it is.
It's the What We're Reading theme song.
It is What We're Reading. What we're going to read.